relationships with my teachers and staff at Crawford High School improved a lot. I was not really involved before restorative justice practices came to campus, and I didn't really have relationships with my teachers where I could feel like I could go up to them to talk to them about something that happened or get some insight or advice. But restorative justice practices allowed me to see my teachers more as human and less as authority figures, and I felt like I could go to them about just about anything, but specifically things that were happening at school or things that were happening with me. I think restorative justice practices put in place that safety net where I knew that I was always gonna get the support and resources I needed, and if I wasn't gonna get the support and resources from that teacher, they can necessarily redirect me to somebody else who did. I saw in my peers as well that students who were shy and not speaking up in class were now, involving themselves in community building circles or events outside of the classroom, or even talking to the principal.
The relationship between teachers and students was heavily impacted, greatly impacted, because it put the teacher in a position outside of just being an authority figure. It put them into the students' lives a lot more than just being the person that they listen to or who dismisses them from the classroom instead of the bell. It puts them in a much more open relationship between the teacher and the students. And I know with my teachers in the Law Academy, I still talk to a lot of them. I consider them more friends now, even though I find it really hard to not call Mr. Beatty Mr. Beatty. His name is Raymond.
I feel like the relationship that was created amongst the teachers, staff, and students got better after the practices. Like at the beginning, yes, the teachers knew their students, but like it wasn't like on a deep level. It was, oh, I know you, you're in my class, you're just a student, you're just, you're there. But as the practices continued, the teachers got to know them like deeply on another level. They got to understand why the student acts a certain way, or why they're afraid to show themselves in class, afraid to raise their hand. It got deeper, and I feel like that's something that most schools don't have. Now I feel connected to my students. My students view me more as just, oh, it's just another teacher. It's like, yo, that's my friend, but also my teacher, and I respect them, and they know what I'm going through.
Yes, my teachers and I actually got pretty close because we talked about like them doing circles also, because they used to do it back then, and they also wanted us to like get used to it and get involved, and there are some teachers that I actually still contact to this day because of the circles. So it's safe to say that it was a great outcome.
I think the whole thing that I keep going back to is trust, but it really built that sense of like trust and community. Like, hey, I could go to this teacher if I need something, or I know that if I'm saying something or acting a certain way, this teacher is not going to punish me because they understand where I'm coming from, or they're going to give me the opportunity to explain like, hey, this is going on. So it built like that sense of like vulnerability. Like you're able to be vulnerable around this person. You're able to say, oh, I can really trust this person. I can go to this person. I can tell them something and they're not going to judge me.